So today we're going to look at a little bit more difficult multiplying brackets in algebra. So if you want to pause the video to get the notes down here. But the very first thing that we do when we have something like this, where you have an x term in both brackets and numbers in both brackets, and two brackets are side by side. Well, the first thing we do, step one there, is split the first bracket. So when we split this bracket, we split it after the variable. We don't include that sign in the middle. Okay, so we've split the first bracket. My second says rewrite taking the first term and multiplying it by the second bracket. So I'm going to take that x and I'm going to multiply it by all of the second bracket, which is x plus 2. And then I'm going to put that plus 1. So again, I'm doing the same with the second term. So the plus 1, and I'm going to take it, multiply it by all of that second bracket, x plus 2. So my step 3 then is just to use the loop method to multiply out, and we've looked at this in class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that x and multiply it by x. When I do that, I get x squared. I'm going to take that x and multiply it by plus 2, so I get plus 2x. And then for the second one, I'm going to take that 1 plus 1, multiply it by x, so I get plus x, or 1x, and then the plus 1 by plus 2, that's going to give me plus 2, because remember, we're multiplying here. The last part then, the step 4, I suppose, if you wanted to call it, is just to simplify. So the only thing I can simplify here is I have a 2x plus an x. So that x squared stays the same. Remember, we cannot add terms that are not like. So I have plus 2x plus x, that gives me plus 3x. And then I have this plus 2 at the end, and that's my final answer. Okay, so let's take another example then. So I'm just going to write the numbers of the steps down here. So step 1 is going to be to split that top bracket. Split the first bracket, and I'm going to split it after the variable. Step 2, I'm going to take the first term, which is a, multiply it by all of the second bracket, a plus 4. And then I'm going to take that plus 3, the second term, and multiply it by all of the second bracket, a plus 4. When I do that, then the next that's step 2 done. Step 3 is going to be using the loop method to multiply out this bracket. So I have a by a and a by 4. Well, a by a gives me a squared. A by 4 gives me plus 4a. Then I have plus 3 by a gives me plus 3a. And plus 3 by 4 gives me plus 12. Again, the last step, or step 4 if you want to call it, is making sure we add like terms. So I have no other a squared, so that just is a squared. Then I have plus 4a plus 3a gives me plus 7a. And then I just have plus 12, and that's my final answer. Okay, so we're just going to try a couple more that are a little bit harder, but you're well able for them. Okay, so just using our method again, the brackets method. We will split this first bracket here, and we will take the 3x, multiply by all of the second bracket, and then the plus 2, and multiply that by all of the second bracket. Okay, then we will do our loop method. So we have 3x, 3 by minus 1, 2 by x, 2 by minus 1. So this is just an example for you to write into your copy. So if I go ahead and multiply then, 3x by x, remember we said that there are imaginary ones here on the x's. So what we do is, or invisible ones. So what we do is we add the powers when we have 3x by x. So that's 3x squared. Then we have 3x by minus 1, which will give me minus 3x. Then I have 2 by x, which gives me plus 2x. And then I have 2 by minus 1, which gives me minus 2. Last part, which we always do, is anything that is similar we will put together. So we have 3x squared, can't be changed. Then we have minus 3x plus 2x. So minus 3 plus 2 gives me minus 1. And remember, we don't really write that 1 in front of the x, so it just becomes minus x, minus 2. And that's my final answer on that one. Okay, let's take just one more example on these type of ones. So again, we have 4y minus 6, 2y minus 3. So we're going to split that first bracket. we're going to take 4y, multiply it by all of the second bracket, 2y, minus 3, and then the minus 6, and multiply that by the second bracket, so 2y minus 3. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to do our loops. So we have 4y by 2y, so 4 by 2 gives me 8, and y by y gives me y squared. Then we have 4y by minus 3, so that becomes minus 12y. I have, now this is important, I have minus 6 by 2y. So minus 6 by 2 gives me minus 12y. And then I have minus 6 by minus 3. Minus by minus gives me plus 18. Okay, the last part then, we're just going to take the 2 here because they're the only things that are alike in this whole thing. So then we just put down 8y squared. Minus 12 gives me minus 24y. And we have plus 18. And that's my final answer. Can't do anything else with that. The last thing we're going to look at is what's called squared brackets. So what I want you to think about here is, remember that when we look at a number that's squared, so if we have 3 squared, well, what is 3 squared? It's not 6, okay? It's not 3 by 2, it's 3 multiplied by 3, which we know gives me 9, okay? Squared brackets are no different in the sense that when we see this here, that this is squared, the whole bracket is squared, that basically means that what we're going to do in this question is 2x plus 2 multiplied by 2x plus 2. So you just write the bracket out twice, okay? We'll go ahead and solve that now. So split your first bracket. You are going to put 2x multiplied by all of the second bracket, 2x plus 2, plus 2, 2x plus 2. Then you are going to do your loops. So 2 by 2 gives me 4, x by x gives me x squared. 2x by 2 gives me plus 4x. 2x by 2 gives me plus 4x. And 2 by 2 gives me plus 4. And the last part we can simplify. We get 4x squared plus 8x, because 4x plus 4x gives me 8x plus 4. And that's my total, that's my final answer. Okay, I want you to pause the video here. I want you to have a go at this squared bracket, so try it for yourself. And then when you are done, just press play and I'll go through the workings with you. Okay, so let's go through the workings here. So we know then that this means 3x minus 2 multiplied by 3x minus 2. Okay, and then from our methods before, we just split that first bracket and we will get 3x multiplied by the second bracket, which is 3x minus 2, minus 2, 3x minus 2. Okay, then I'm going to get do my loop method. So I have 3 by 3, which gives me 9, x by x gives me x squared, 3x by minus 2 gives me minus 6x. Now, always remember to bring in that minus when we're multiplying this second part. So minus 2 by 3x gives me minus 6x. And minus 2 by minus 2, minus by minus gives me plus 4. So I have 9x squared, minus 6 and minus 6 I can add together gives me minus 12x. And then finally I have plus 4. And that's my final answer. I can't do anything else with that.